All right. Good evening, our viewers. Today we welcome you to Sportswave Championship Insight and Mindset Moment. This is a session where we get to talk to our sports champions and understand their mindsets, perspective, and insight on both their personal and professional life. Again, today we have Hellen Obiri, who has been 2 times 5,000 meters world champion, world indoor 3,000 meters champion. She's world cross country champion, Commonwealth 500 meters champion, Boston Marathon 2023 champion, New York Marathon 2023 champion, several world championships, and last but not least, Olympic 2024 bronze medalist. Please welcome Hellen.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to find out how your recovery is since August 12th after you did your Paris Marathon.
Okay, thank you, John, for having me. I'm recovering well, as you can see. Actually, I took like a 1 week break because now I need to focus towards New York Marathon 2024. So I had to take a short break so that I can come back and start training. So for now, I'm doing like 1 day training, 1 day off, a little bit exercise, a little gym work, lifting, swimming, so that my legs can take good. So I will have like 4 weeks doing those things. And like the most important thing is to stay healthy, to have physio, good diet, so that when you have those things, you can just recover well. And after 4 weeks, I think I can be like good to go and good to train for another marathon. Paris was good experience for me, was tough course. So now I'm preparing well. I'm ready for the next task.
I can see you making your own food. You take your nutrition serious.
Yeah.
So does it mean every day you make your own food, you choose your own diet, or do you have someone to help you with your diet, a nutritionist to guide you?
I'm a Kenyan. I'm Africa. So I need to make my own food. Actually, every day, every morning, lunch, supper, I make my own food. As you can see, like now, I'm making rice, potato, meat. I have some fruits here. I have some pineapple here eating. I have some oranges here. So I do like making my own food because like when I make my own food, I know what I need to eat. I know what's the best for me.
Okay. What about when you travel outside your country or your home? When you go to, like when you were in Paris, did the diet there affect you, or it was just okay with you?
It won't affect you because like that's a good food because like we do take it like we have a nutrition, they know what's the best for athletes. So in Paris, the food was good because there was a lot of food. It's you to choose what you have, what you do not have. So me, the food was okay for me. When I travel outside the country, I don't like for races, I can't make my food there. So I do believe that the food they have there, it's the best for me. It's the best for other runners.
Okay. Last time we spoke, your dream was to win the gold in Paris. Are you satisfied with what you got, or do you still have that ambition and eagerness to get an Olympic gold? Because that's what you told me you're missing in your cabinet of medals.
Actually, let me say, like, I was kind disappointed, but I had a long journey, John. I didn't share with anybody there before. After Boston Marathon, I was so good. And, like, it's a body. You wouldn't expect, like, you wouldn't know about tomorrow. I had a bad injury after Boston. I had a hip fracture, of which I had to cut down my training. I had to do a shockwave treatment. I have to travel to Boston again to do a shockwave treatment. The treatment took me about 14 days. And then I had to travel back in Boulder to do indoor training, to run biking for about 6 weeks. So honestly, my build-up was too short. I had to do 5 weeks training, ground training towards Paris. I didn't do enough training. So for me, I was so lucky to get a bronze because I was almost canceled to go to Paris because like the recovery, the fitness was too short because like I didn't have enough time to prepare actually. So that's why I end up being number 3, of which is not too bad. Like you can imagine somebody training for 3 weeks, 7 weeks, and to be in a podium was something like, now I take like that bronze like a gold to me because of the preparation I had was not enough for me. The injury I had, it couldn't allow me to have enough training. So I won't lose hope. I would say like it's sports and you can't predict about your body. This is not like something, the body, you wouldn't know like today you are okay. You wouldn't know what will happen tomorrow. So for me, I was so happy and I will live to fight for another day.
Oh, that was quite unfortunate. That almost took you out of the race, the competition. But I believe it's out of your discipline, out of your passion and hard work that you had to go all through this and still come to Paris and participate and get a bronze. So, meaning that you didn't go as per your plan. I mean, you didn't go to the race as you had planned, so you had to come up with the second plan of that short.
Yeah. And actually, we watched the race. I have never raced a race like that one. I fall down at 2K and at 30K.
So
and missing water.
What was causing you to fall?
Even like at 2K, I would say like, what happened at 2K? I just like myself, it's down. Oh my! I said like, what's happening with me? And at 30K, it's at a water station, so everybody's trying to get the water. So that reason, like I had to fall down. Like I didn't know actually what happened. So I say like it's all about the race. There's ups and downs. So you can imagine coming from injury, falling down at 2K and 35 and 30K, and missing water at 35K. Like if you miss a water at 35K, so I had to ask my friend Sharon to give me the water at 35K. So like you can't go at that 5K without water. So me in Paris, I have ups and downs.
You must have had a tough time. But you said at 30 you fell while trying to get water?
Yes.
And at 35, you didn't get another water?
I missed my water station.
Oh. So, but Sharon came to your help.
So I asked Sharon, like, oh my, can you help me some water? I say yes. She's a nice lady. So
now, what could have happened if at all she could have said she doesn't have enough to share with you?
If I hadn't, like at 35K, you wouldn't go even past 40K because Paris was so humid and hot. So I could even stop. And honestly, without Sharon, I would say like, no, I'm done here because like I can't go after that 7K without like water. So I think that was the most important thing at that 5K to have water.
That was very sportsmanlike, sharing. Actually, the leading pack, you are the 4 of you. So her still giving you her water and competing at the same time. I think that must have been very sportsmanlike and kind of her to share her water with you. And then you end up, taking number 3 and not taking number 4, which I know feels so sad, when somebody finishes at number 4, it's so painful, huh? Because they're just asking if I could have just pushed a little bit, I could have been in the podium. But that's the way the game is, and there's nothing you can do about it. But as a teammate, I think you really need to thank her for having come to your rescue.
Sure.
Otherwise, the bronze was hers.
Sure.
So with this short time preparation, did you craft a plan for that with your team? With the short time you had in preparing, did you, with your technical team, did you come up with a plan for that, or you just said, let me do it the way I've always done it?
Actually, let me say, like, honestly, let me thank my team, my coaches. They took quick to see, like, I'm getting off to the track running, because, like, when we did MRI, the doctor said, like, it will take me 4 months to get well. But again, we had to seek another option from, like, various doctors, which we had to do, like, how can we do it, like, it be, like, less than 4 months. And then we had another doctor say, like, we can do a shockwave, of which can do, like, 6 weeks to recover, and then she can be well. So from that, the team said, like, now, Helen, we can't, like, do aggressive workout. But honestly, the coaches say, like, if Paris is tough course, but you don't drop out of the race, it's like getting an experience of the marathon. But always they believe on me. What we wanted to see, like, to be in the leading back up towards the end, because, like, I knew, like, there was so strong female athletes there. So for honestly, me, I say, like, if I could manage to be the leading back up to 41K, I can get a medal. Honestly, I was thinking, like, even I can win a gold, like, but so, like, Ethiopian and the Sivan, that was so strong. Sivan is a track lady. We can just get her up to 41K. She can obviously count the day. But for me, I didn't have, like, a specific how I can run the marathon. It's been me go out there and try my lucky.
So if I have to recap all that you said, in your, for you to have won this bronze medal, a lot of factors came into play. There's the medical bit, there's the psychological bit of it, there is now the resilience in you, and of course, again, maybe luck, because listening to all that you're explaining, from the preparation to the race itself, and even to the finish, which I'm not sure you can tell me whether you're prepared for that fast, sprint finish that Sifan and the Ethiopian, brought in at the last minute. Were you really prepared for that?
Actually, let me say, like, honestly, I didn't prepare for the sprint finish. And for me, I knew, like, I had a sprint finish, but during my short period of preparations, I had only to do 3 track sessions, 3 workouts, of which is too short for preparation to marathon. And I didn't, like, we were sometimes worried about my hip, so we didn't add a sprint sessions. So of which, like, I wouldn't manage to sprint with other ladies. So what I had in mind is that to try to push the pace from 30K so that we would go, like, sprint finish. But I tried to go, honestly, and, like, when you are putting all your effort and the ladies are there, so that means, like, they're also strong. If you try to go, you'll be like a pacemaker. So me, I said, like, oh no, I can't go, like, past here. I don't want to be a pacemaker. Let me, like, sit and wait. If anything can happen, I won't be the pacemaker.
Oh, okay. I thought I was distracting you from doing what you are doing, but I can see you are taking your fruits. That's fine. Now, as you say, you by 30K you wanted to, be pushed so that you don't go for the sprint finish. But all along in
Yeah.
the race, you are dropping and struggling to come back, dropping. Sometimes we lost you completely. I was wondering where is Hellen? But again, I saw you,
Yeah.
catching up. Don't you think this must have cost you a lot of energy when you drop and then, try to catch up again?
Okay. You know what happened?
Uh,
I stopped the after asking Sharon
mm,
to give some water.
mm,
So like for my water, it's personal water. You can't know like what somebody's putting inside. So
mm.
when I asked Sharon to give me the water at 35K, at the 37K, I had to stop
Completely stop.
to throw up. So that's where you shown like there was like I was far behind like about 50 meters. I can remember it was like few meters back to the tunnel. So
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
to stop.
Mm,
So you can imagine like taking someone's water, you can't know what's inside
mm,
to mix with your water you have used to drink. So I had to
mm.
stop honestly.
Wow, wow, wow.
And the thing like what's happening with me,
Mm.
I have to throw out and come up and then like say like let me try to push myself. So like I think that thing like it cost me a lot like stopping, going, falling
Falling
down.
down.
So I think that honestly it cost me a lot. Like it's a race. You can't do a race like that one.
Mm.
So that one cost me like let me say like 10% of my race.
I can imagine all that happening to you in the same race. And the
Yeah.
competitors are very, very strong. The Ethiopians set a very high pace, and
And
it,
yeah.
it was not easy to,
And when someone says like you are falling down, they can start to push the pace so that you can't catch up with them.
oh, that's another strategy.
Yeah, because like when you see your opponents falling down, that's your happiness.
Motivation to keep on going.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like I would stop at 35 to at 38K. It's 4K to go.
Ah, okay.
So I had to finish.
And of
Yeah.
course, going into the race, you mentioned that your technical team said they're not really looking forward to you winning, but just finishing the race so that you can get the experience and of course the
Yeah.
time for finishing.
And
Uh,
compete.
Another thing that I also want to understand is I've looked at the 3 marathons that you did in New York, Boston, and now Paris. In
Yeah.
Boston, you had 2.2138 time. New York, you had 2.27.38 time. And Paris, you had 2.2310. So in terms of
Mm-hmm.
the course of the marathon, in terms of toughness, yeah, because people say Paris was too tough, yet you did better
Yeah.
than New York, yeah. So in terms
Yeah.
of the toughness of the course, which one, in your opinion, which one do you think, which one amongst the three was the toughest?
I can see Paris was the toughest because, John, I've never raced a race. I've never raced a race with such big uphill.
Hmm.
So I've been doing in New York and Paris and I'm
Boston.
sorry, New York and Boston.
Hmm.
But for me, Paris was the toughest one because, like, let me start with the weather. The weather was not good, and the course itself, it was brutal.
Okay. But
Yeah,
But in your planning stage or phase, did you try to visit the course or try to understand how the course is so that when you prepare, you are prepared, you are in a position or prepared to, uh, you are prepared to take the course the way it is?
Okay, we had a plan after Boston to go and see the course. And when I got the injury, we canceled everything, so I could not manage to travel. And we had a plan, like we start training half wheel courses so that I can get like used to Paris. But when I got the injury, so we had to cancel because I could not manage to train hard course. I had to go soft ground. So everything we canceled. So I didn't like get used to train similar course with Paris.
Okay, of course, I understand you are avoiding to aggravate the injury, so you're taking it easy.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about downhill? At some point, it was also a very steep, about 8 kilometers going down. Was that a challenge in terms of the courses or the races or the marathons you've ran before?
Let, let, let me say, like, downhill was for me was okay because I'm too short. For me, I like downhill.
Okay.
So for me, downhill was the best part for me.
Oh, that's where you are recovering.
Yeah, that's it. Like, if honestly, you can see, like, at 17K2 was like that up long hill. I was not moving. Even the leading back was about like 70 meters ahead of me. So downhill, I had to catch them.
So it worked for you, unlike others who complained the downhill consumed or made them spend a lot of energy,
So for me, I like downhill.
Okay. Which other course have you encountered with a downhill track? I mean, part?
In track or in road?
No. Which other marathon have you encountered that has a downhill section?
Because I've already done marathons in New York and Boston. Even New York, from the start about 25K, it's downhill.
Oh, okay.
So you can imagine about 25K, it's downhill.
Oh.
So for me, like that's why I like Boston. Because the first station it's a half downhill, like about 25K from start. And then uphill about 10K and then downhill towards the end.
That's easier for someone like who likes going downhill. Oh, okay. Now I understand some of your fans. I read some of the comments after the race. Some of your fans were saying if Hellen could have trained in Kenya, she could have won this race. So some people believe that training in Kenya is the best. What do you have to say about that now that your training base is in the US?
Let me tell you, John, if you want to be a very good athlete, you can train in all weather. For me, I've been training here. I won Boston and New York. No one complains about for me training here. Paris, the is training in Kenya. She was number 15. So for me, the training here is much better than the way I used to train in Kenya. So I couldn't say like training in Kenya was good for me. It's good, but it's what you put into your mind.
So it's not the environment or the location is just part of it, but most of it is the technical and then your mind, strength of your mind, and of course the discipline that you put in.
Like where I train, it's they had to be the same like Nairobi, like Kenya, like where I used to train in Kong.
Oh, it's the same altitude.
Yeah, it's 1900.
Okay, so there's no difference.
So it's the same.
Okay, some fans felt that if at all you could have been in Kenya, you could have trained in Kenya, you could have, done better. But of course, having listened to all that happened to you before and during the race,
Yeah,
you still did quite a good job. And if at all
sure,
you could have not had those hiccups, you could have still won, even though the sprint
sure.
part of it, the sprint, maybe you could have, as you mentioned, that at 30, maybe you could have pushed the race so that you don't have that sprint finish. But I know you lost a
Mm-hmm.
lot of energy. You had an injury, missing water, falling twice. Wow. That must have
Yeah,
been a challenge for you, but you still managed to finish.
sure.
Yeah. I think you had such a quite experience out of that race
Yeah, the
and
hard way.
hard way. And I believe the experience you gathered from that race, if you were to advise somebody who is going to run a marathon, what lessons did you pick that you'd really want to stress to someone who is preparing to run a marathon?
I can say all in marathon, it needs patience
Mm,
and to focus.
mm,
Like for me, like I was maybe don't think about anything else, just focus about the race and get well, drink, get
mm,
enough drink, and be focused about what you are going and what you are doing. And just believe in yourself, whatever will happen in the race. Sometimes in a race, there's ups and downs, but don't
mm,
lose hope. Just fight up to the end. If you fight up to the end, you can just get a medal or you can just win the
mm.
race. So don't lose hope, whatever you're doing in that race.
Okay.
Yeah.
I listened to I listened to your New York documentary, and
Yeah.
you had a test run. Rather, you had a feel of the course, the last part of it, as part of your visualization, visualization process, so that you see
Mm-hmm.
yourself at the end and at with a strong pace or strong body. So in Paris, you never had an opportunity to do this. So what did you try to visualize? What was your visualization strategy that you had to, go through for you to be able to finish the race?
For me, when I went to Paris, it's just about to listen my body
Mm.
and to let my body to control me because like my mind was telling me like try to go, like when you had an injury, you can't push the body to a limit. So me, the best thing in Paris was just to listen about my body.
So that comes with the experience.
Yeah, the experience, if you are a good athlete, region to the body and have a good experience.
So for you, you mentioned that at 30 you wanted to go ahead. You wanted to pacemake. And again, you said no. If you go ahead, if you act as a pacemaker, it might work against you. So in a championship, you always have a pacemaker. In an Olympic Games, there is no pacemaker. So how do you balance the two? How do you prepare to run well without a pacemaker and with a pacemaker?
Honestly, for me, I haven't run any race with a pacemaker.
Hmm.
I have done that's 5 marathons without a pacemaker. So for
Okay.
me, I do believe like I want to listen my body and
Hmm.
I want to run my own race. Because if there's no pacemaker, just listen about your body and
Hmm.
try to run your own race, not someone's race. Because if you run like someone's race, you must burn out the race, you must burn out the energy. So just maintain about the energy because marathon it's a long, long journey of which I told you it needs a lot of patience. Because
Hmm.
if you start going at 30K, you have 12K to go. That's a long journey. And the people normally say like marathon starts at 38K.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can imagine if you are trying to go at 30K and the marathon starts at 40K, at
The two
38K, you will
kilometers.
pay. That's
So,
4 kilometers to end the marathon.
okay.
And that's where they say like the marathon starts.
At 38K.
Yeah.
That's where you tell the difference between a good and a bad marathoner.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But I'm
Yeah, for me, even
surprised.
average. Yeah.
But I'm surprised you're saying 12K is a long distance. If you're doing 42, 20, I mean, in your training every day, you do 27, 20, 15.
Yeah, but in a race, that 2K,
Mm,
even 40K, you are at 40K and you are remaining like 2K to finish.
mm,
We call that one, it's a long journey.
okay.
Of which it needs a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you now fully recovered or you are still going through medication or treatment? The recovery
For now,
process.
what I was asked about after Paris, I have no any complaint
Mm,
about the injury.
mm,
I had no a lot of excuse now. It's the body to get fit because, like, honestly, after running that Paris course, your body needs to be off about 4 weeks to get well.
mm.
So the good thing is there's no injury, so it's only like the body's tired, the legs are tired because of up wheels.
Mm.
So now I have 2 weeks the body to be good.
Okay.
Yeah,
You,
and that 2 weeks is enough for me, the body to be good now.
you told me you just did 27K. Is that not?
I did 27K, the easiest run.
Okay.
So it was 1 minute slower to my previous races here, by my previous long run, because I was doing like 430 per K and I do like 350 per K, so it was slower
With 1 minute.
with 1 minute. Yeah, so
Okay.
that one is to get the body.
So what is your next event? Have you already planned for your next event?
So my next event, I'm doing Boston, I'm doing New York Marathon,
Again, okay.
of which I'm defending champion.
Yes.
I have to go there and defend my title.
When is it coming up? Is it in October
It
or in
will,
November?
it will be November 3rd.
November 3rd. So you have two
So at
months
least I
to
will have
prepare.
I have like 2 months to prepare. That's why I was saying like I'm taking it this week easy, my legs to
Mm.
be fit.
Mm.
So I will have like that's a lot of time to prepare.
Okay. Any lessons that you picked from Paris that you'll be taking to New York?
Oh my. I can say like to be careful about the marathon, about water stations.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, the
and to
water
watch your
station.
steps because the experience I had falling down 2 times, I don't want to again that experience to happen in my life.
Mm. It
Yeah.
cost you a lot. It costed you a lot,
It costed
and
me a
again,
lot.
missing your water was again that is very. That's a very 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 sad, or to
Yeah.
miss water at that at that distance.
Mm-hmm.
You can even collapse and die, right?
I tell you,
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Sorry, I won't keep you long. I know you just had your run, as you mentioned.
yeah.
I was very happy to talk to you and to learn from you the experiences that you brought from you got in Paris, and
Thank
of
you.
course the challenges. It's always good to talk about these challenges, so also learn from them and people learn from you. Like as you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, you've just mentioned something about medical technology that helped you, recover well on time. How you'll be careful about the water points and, falling down, and of course, uh, keeping with the pack, not being a pacemaker or I know the lessons are immense. And all I can say now is just to wish you well for your next event. We will
Thank you.
be waiting and watching and, of course, cheering you.
Thank you, John.
Anything that you'd like to say to anybody?
No, I'm happy. I'm happy to have you around. I appreciate. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, and have a good day. Pass my regards to everybody, your technical team, and your family.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night, John.
Right.
Bye.
Wish you the best.
Bye.
Best of regards.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.